Also want to applaud him for this. I want to applaud him for this. And the Dallas Cowboys find a way to get themselves to the playoffs, and then he goes to the playoffs and wet the bed. He won't hear the end of it. Not from first take. I can promise you that. But he deserves league MVP consideration right now.
You couldn't just give the compliment. Couldn't just hand him the compliment.
So bad.
Right? That was Stephen A. yesterday on this show giving his thoughts on Dak Prescott potentially being the MVP. But, Drew, as you heard, there was a little caveat to it. Nonetheless, Drew, what are your thoughts on what Dak Prescott has done so far? Do you agree with Stephen A.?
Well, he said league MVP consideration, or is he saying the favorite for the MVP? Which one?
I said league consideration. He's top two favorite. Top two favorite, to be specific. Top two favorites, Drew.
All right. I love the job that Dak has done this year, and I think we're remiss if we don't mention the fact that right before the season, they traded unquestionably the leader on defense, and so that I think that just put more pressure on him. But look, I think he's handled it incredibly well. He's done it with injuries to some of his playmakers as well. I think it's more so to me. It's not just, but the Giants score late, man, they methodically go down, kick the field goal, take it to overtime. Acknowledges, hey, look, we're just trying to put ourselves in a position to go and really make a run at the ultimate prize. And that's how we'll be judged here. But yes, I like the way he's playing, but I'll be honest with you. I think Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield, I would put ahead of him in the MVP race right now. Yeah. You look at the way that these guys have played. First off, Baker Mayfield, statistically 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. But his late game heroics, I tune in to watch that. That's the first thing I want to go and watch at the end of every Sunday is how did they find a way to win that game? So really impressive the position he's put his team in at the end of games to go and win. And then Jared Goff. I think has Detroit just become so automatic now that we don't give them the respect that they deserve?
Right.
I know they had that week 1 falter against the Bears, but since then they've averaged 40 points a game. Yeah. In the last 4 consecutive games. That is hard to do, okay? And they're doing it a number of different ways. They lose both coordinators, offense and defensive coordinators, who want to become head coaches, and yet that system is in place, right? That culture has been established. That identity is there. But it starts and stops with Jared Goff on offense. I know they got some weapons, but, man, they need a guy pulling the trigger and distributing and leading, and that's what he's been doing.
I agree with Drew 100%. Baker Mayfield, to me, is MVP of the league right now. I think what he has been able to do and what he's been able to accomplish has been next level. Either 5 or 7 different offensive line combinations. He had a center playing left tackle for 2 weeks. Still no Bucky Irving going out to Seattle against that great defense, lights it up. And to Drew's point about getting to the late game heroics, making it happen, making plays happen. But I'd be remiss if I'm not being truthful about why Stephen A. does what he does. So just so y'all realize, Drew, the setup of what he did, right? Kind of a backhanded compliment to Dak and kind of all this. If they make the playoffs, right? So this is Stephen A.'s way for all the Cowboys fans to jump on the bandwagon. Man, Dak's the MVP. We're going to make the playoffs. We got 4 bad teams we're about to go beat up on the next 4 weeks. This is what we're going to do. We just beat up on the Jets. So excited about Dak. Flowers. Like all the setup as he's praying for the demise of Dak. Soon as the season ends, that's all. That's all he wants. That's all he wants, dog. He wants to crush my man Dak, dog. There is no sincerity in my man pulling for Dak. He's just trying to whack my man. No, Dak, you keep fighting. Dak is playing absolute phenomenal football. But I just want everybody to put on the record. This is why Stephen A. does what he does. Cowboys fans, don't let the man troll you again. You get trolled every year. Don't let him do it to you again. Come on. Be better than that.
I plead the fifth. Look, man. Look. Here's the deal. First of all, you caught me. I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. But it's not like I have to hide. It's not a hope. It's an expectation.
No doubt.
I expect Dak Prescott to be right up there. The man is 30 games over 500 as a starter, Drew. That's 30 games over 500 as a starter, okay? But the playoffs come. It's a different animal. And we all know it. And by the way, Drew, see, you can't relate. You sort of relate, but you can't. Because not only are you a Super Bowl champion, but you're a Super Bowl MVP, Drew. You understand? Do you know Drew Brees finished second in MVP voters 4 times? 4 times. You understand? So Dak right up there, and Drew can relate, except Drew got to the playoffs and then forget what he did to get to the playoffs. You understand? He actually emulated and replicated his performances come postseason time. We can't accuse Dak Prescott of that. Now, we will say this, because I am a fair-minded human being. I want the world to know this. I am fair-minded. Okay?
You know shame.
I know for a fact.
I knew what he was
Listen,
doing.
4 starters from your offensive line.
That's true.
Down. Okay, down. Okay, not only
No
listen,
CeeDee Lamb.
no CeeDee Lamb either, and the brother's giving pep talks to the offensive lineman. You understand? He ain't trying to bribe them with watches. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? He's trying to give them pep talks. He's trying to motivate them. All right. And by the way, they show out without CeeDee Lamb, the brothers put up 77 points over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So give credit where credit is due. Dak Prescott is no scrub. He can play. He's in the conversation, top 2 or 3 candidate, because we got to throw Daniel Jones in there for the Indianapolis Colts as an MVP candidate. It's just that as we look forward, as we have foresight, as we prognosticate, we can also expect the plummet to arrive eventually.
Hey,
That's
Stephen,
all.
the great ones raise the level of play of those around him. And that's what
right.
Dak's doing right
That's
now.
right. That's what he's doing right now in October. You know what I'm saying? That's not January. That's all I'm saying.
I think
That's
it's
all
nice.
I'm saying.
No, I think it's nice. I mean,
That's all I'm saying.
and the Cowboys, they resulted in a tie, and then they beat the Jets, and you're still giving compliments. I think it's nice.
That's right. I think it's very nice of me, Jeff Saturday.
it's very nice.
So myself.
Very nice.
Pointing out the
Very
obvious
nice.
Drew,
here.
tell him, Drew, I'm a nicer guy than they really
Very
want to give me
nice.
credit for. I'm a nicer guy than that, Drew. I'm a nicer guy.
Hey, you're setting it up. I was Saturday on this one, boy.
That's right.
You're setting this thing up.
Let's get to a quick take here as we go back to the AFC South. The Colts dismantled the Raiders on Sunday for a blowout. 40-6 win, 4-1 on the season. And look, the Raiders aren't great. That's fine this year.
I think they're really good. And this isn't to pat ourselves on the back, but they look like the Saints offense from years ago. Everything that they're doing, inside zone, outside zone, gap scheme runs. I love what they're doing in the run game. That's setting up some shots in the pass game. But more important, that is like a hallmark of the West Coast offense. How can we make the pass game an extension of the run game? Quarterback on his back, like on his first step or on his third.
It's very true. They spread the ball around. There's no one receiver. All their receiver, whether it's Pitt, Ike's out. This is one of the top teams in the NFL, not just the AFC South. They are playing. They are physical, and they have a lot to be excited about. They're playing great football right now.
I'm stunned, and I need an explanation. I understand that collectively, when you look at the parts around, especially with the offensive line, especially with a running back like Jonathan Taylor, and some of the wide out weapons, and you pointed out a few weeks ago how each of them do something different.
Yes.
You understand? So you got cats spread the field, you got cats be in the slot. We get all of that, right? What I'm shocked about is that Daniel Jones is completing more than 71% of his passes. Has only thrown 2 interceptions on the season. Drew, what the hell is going on in Indy as it pertains specifically to him? What are they doing differently than anything we've ever seen for him in his career, real quick?
Look, it's a credit to him, and I'm sure the way that he's worked at it and the chip on his shoulder that he came in with, it's the way that he's being coached. And honestly, it's the scheme. The scheme is really setting him up for success. You put your eyes in the right place and you keep it very simple. In most cases, it's kind of like this 1 to 2 read, right? Like I'm throwing this little option route and then I'm kicking it out to the back, or, we're going to fool him and hit him with this seam, or I'm kicking it out to the back or underneath to the jerk route. Like as I watch the tape, man, he is very much in rhythm. And so much of playing the quarterback position is just finding that rhythm for yourself and trying to keep it simple as well. They're not asking him to read the whole field or, drop back and just kind of wait for it all to happen. Like it is very systematic, man. Eyes in the right place, hit the back foot. He knows exactly where the ball needs to come out. If the zone defender squeezes there, I'm kicking it to Jonathan Taylor in the flat, and he's going to go get me 6. We're going to be in third manageable situations. That's why they're top 3 in third downs. And then that's going to result in points because you sustain drives. They're top 3 in points scored, and then they're taking care of the football. That's a formula for win.
It's very buttoned up, and I hate to keep doing this. I'm usually a very positive person, but their wins have all come against teams that are a combined 6-14. I'm just throwing that out.
I must say, Shay, that on First Take, I'm usually the one being accused of such things.
Yeah.
You
Wet
have been
blanket.
very negative.
I know
Yeah,
I have.
very,
Very
Not
negative.
very.
I mean, I must admit that.
Everyone has been so positive
My
about
car
that.
heels, my
Yeah.
Colts.
I'm very
I already
shocked.
got it. Drew's already
Yeah.
questioned me about. He's talking about the Super Bowl when
Yeah,
Drew
this-
crushed me.
that-
It's been a terrible. I'm not happy with the show.
I
today.
have to keep
I
it
am not
real.
happy.
A lot of
She's
rose-colored
been-
glasses around here is all
She's
I'm
been
pointing
negative
out.
today. She
Very,
really has.
very.
She really